Hello and welcome to turn 3, the corrected turn 3 of GMT's Fields of Fire 2 by Ben Hull, the Peleliu campaign, mission 1, the initial assault. Last turn it was a bit of a bloodbath. We had a lot of interaction here at the beach, 2 lots of mortar fire, and then some spider holes with a rifle squad, which has resulted in quite a lot of casualties. We also had a burning wreck made out of an LVT with some incoming fire as well, and another LVT driven off. So yeah, not great at the moment. At least we've got rid of a few potential contact markers, which I suppose is nice. But anyway, let's crack on. This turn we should be able to get these LVTs in to the beach. However, of course, these incoming fires will affect these 2 LVTs. Should be an LVT somewhere in this stack. I'll just put one on. Not sure where he's gone to, but those LVTs. So yeah, let's start with the higher HQ phase, and we do have an effect. Remember last time we got the sitrep one, which removed all the COHQ's commands, but let's see what we've got this time. So randomizer of 10 gets us a 7. Let's have a look. So good news is this looks like quite a good one. So if we look at the chart here on mission 1, look down and it's on a 7, and then across we get amphibious tank section arrives. Ooh, so we have 2 LVT A4s available in staging area. So we've got some reinforcements, some tanks. Well, that's great. Let me just get those counters. Right. Here we have them, the LVT A4. There we go. So as you can see, it's a heavy weapons platform. So there's no carrying capacity, but yeah, it's a heavy weapons and very long range, which is not amazingly relevant, but that'll be very, very welcome. So yeah. As far as we'll place them in the staging area, so we look down here, I think probably the 2 middle sections is the best way to do. This section here doesn't have anything in it because we lost the LVT, and this one probably, yeah, actually I'm thinking about it, we've got, yes, I think we'll do it that way. Another sneaky decision on this is that we're still on the potential contact B here. Now, the way I've planned the next wave, which will be in on turn 4, I believe, this column will have the COHQ on it, and I'd really rather have a C than a B on this. So we'll get the LVTA4 to take the B as it comes through, if you like, because there's no other LVTs running up and down here until that one arrives. On these ones, these LVTA will be these LVT4s will be retreating through, and will trigger the potential contacts as they are. But on this one, we're still going to be stuck with potential contacts here at the surf zone. So yeah, little sneaky, but I think it's reasonable that they come on here anyway. So yeah, the only thing is, I think we will need to have HQ commands to activate them. I'm not sure we can do it on general impulse, but the general initiative. But let's see anyway. So right on. Yeah, let's carry on. So we have the command phase now. So let's switch to that. Right, let's start with the company HQ. So we have our +1. So we have 5 there, 4 + 1, 5. and this guy over, so he gets up to 6. Now again, so supplying commands. I'm just wondering if he could supply commands to the LVT A4s. It's possible certainly to supply it to the other HQs that are in the staging area, as in the water. So I don't see why they wouldn't be able to do that to the A4s as well. So I think I'll check up about that and see if we can do that. Right, I've sorted out. So the two amphibious tanks, LVT A4s. So they come as a platoon. All vehicles come at a platoon, or certainly manned ones. If we look at the 2 LVTs we have here on the camera, so V1 and V2 I think is a designation, Vehicle 1 and Vehicle 2. So I think we designate Vehicle 1 as the platoon HQ. So it is activated exactly the same as any other platoon, and as it's in the staging area, it should be able to be ordered by the company HQ as long as it stays in the staging area. So once on the board, it'll have to work under general initiative. There is a tank platoon marker here, which we can use, which you can add to the display, which, as I say, we can activate, which I think is what we will do. So the COHQ will activate the tank platoon. Second and third platoon, there's no point in doing it. The first platoon is at maximum. The only guy that really could go sky high is the MG platoon. We can't activate the staff because they're already on the board, so we will take it down 1 and activate the MG platoon as well, and that should do us, I believe. Yeah, so COHQ spends 2 commands, 1 for the tank platoon, 1 for the MG platoon HQs. So on the MG platoon HQ, it's a veteran, so he has a +1. And looking here, we have a 2 + 1 is 3. So that goes up 3 orders, and we're not going to spend them. Now the tank platoon, we're going to draw for that, and I believe that's line. So we will just get the number, which is 2. That should be good enough, and that will be 2 orders to activate the 2 LVTs. So I'll put activated markers on those for the turn, and they can march on in. Very nice to have them along for the ride. Good and bad, I suppose, in these draws. Okay, so that really completes our display. So CAHQ is on 4. MC platoon can still take a couple, and we're down to initiative. So under initiative, we have the EXO. There's no point in drawing for the others. So the EXO, actually the mortar section can draw, but you can only save up to 1 command. So we'll do that. Let's get the mortar section out of the way. And he gets our wonderful 3 going to 2. So we get him up to 3. And then we have our 3 staff HQs, First Sergeant, EXO and Gunnery Sergeant. They're in the surf zone at the moment on an LVT, so they will just take their single order and move up to 3. And there we go. That's our command. The only other thing we have is general initiative. So I'll draw that and then we can move across to the board. So the general initiative, we have a reshuffle. So just pull the general initiative 1 here, which is an unmodified 2, small number, let's remember. Right, so I'll do a reshuffle and we'll move the camera across to the board as is. Right, we've got our 2 general initiative commands. Now, where do we want to spend those? So, possibly over here, because we still have this live hidden unit here. It would be great if we could, for example, unpin that assault team, and then he could possibly spot. I don't believe you can spot when you're pinned, but you might be able to. Let me check. Okay, no, they can't spot, so they would have to become unpinned. However, what you could do is you can move to a card that is occupied with no VOF adjacent. You basically get out of the area to somewhere safe. Now this card has doesn't have an American unit in. I don't know why I put that on there. Yep, ignore me. We could pull back to this area here, but I don't see there's a lot of point in doing that. So yes, my original idea, I think, which is to unpin the assault team and then get it to try and spot that unit there. So for unpinning, the A squad, an assault squad is line quality, so we get 2 cards on the draw. So unpinning, looking for a rally on the card. Hey, we got a rally, marvellous, and a blank. So that's good. We can remove the pin marker from the assault team. So we'll keep everybody else under that. And we will attempt to spot. So again, that should be just 2 cards. There are some spotting modifiers. So let's have a look at those. Yeah, here they are. So it's a line unit, so there's no modification. Target is certainly undercover for a -1. It's on the same card, so it's a +1. And the target card's cover is +1, so no effect there. So yeah, the undercover is cancelled out by the on the same card, so we've just got those 2 cards on the draw, and we're looking for the crosshairs. So cross fingers on this one. We have a blank, and oh look, crosshairs. Wow, maybe our luck is turning. Not that I think it was unlucky to get the results we had there, to be honest, so maybe we're doing quite well. So the assault team has found that rifle squad, and it will start firing on it, which is point blank range automatic fire, so we're able to put automatic fire onto them immediately. And let's do that. So there was a good couple of draws there with the general initiative. Very, very worth it. Right then, so we're done with our command phase. We then do the higher HQ phase for the Japanese and look for the HQ symbol. And we don't have one. Activity check. So the activity check, what do these guys do? So let's look at the card that tells us what should happen. And remember, it's a hierarchy from top to bottom on this card. And we're on a deliberate defensive tactic, so it's this column here. So it is on the same card as the US unit, and it's undercover. So we are on this table here. I think it's the first one which is relevant. So it's a random check for 3, and either it stays there and just carries on what it's doing, or it may attempt to make a grenade attack. Ooh, don't want that to happen. But let's let's draw to see what happens. So 1 is no action, 2 to 3 is a grenade attack. So under the 3 column here, we have a 2, so it attempts to make a grenade attack. Now I haven't shown you this yet, so grenade attacks, you have to draw to see if the grenade attack actually hits the intended target. I just need to check on who it will actually target. Okay, so it should, by the rules, pick the largest target. I believe the largest target is still this squad here, which is pinned. So it will attempt to throw a grenade at that. So it's a line squad, the Japanese are line, and so they get 2 cards to a draw, and we're looking for the grenade symbol. So let's check that. Our first card has a grenade symbol, so the grenade has landed and has hit that unit. So yeah, it's the grenade symbol we wanted. So we get a special VOF, which is just for grenades. I'm just going to pick that out here, and here we are. So that's placed with the squad. So that squad's taking a hell of a pasting here. So if the grenade had not missed, it's not like there's no effect. What you would do is you would place a grenade miss marker, which basically gives everyone on the entire card a -1 VOF adjustment. But this one has worked. You'll note it actually has, if I show it up on here, it has a -4 and a -3. So -4 are American grenades, -3 will be the Japanese, or basically any enemy. So it's a -3 effect. It's another one of those flipping incomings, isn't it? But hey, there we go. So we've decided what they're doing, and that's their activity check. So now we're on to the mutual capture and retreat phase. Okay, there's nothing to do here because all of the paralysed and litter teams, etc., are all pinned, so they can't move in the retreat and capture phase. So that's that done. Also, in this card with the Japanese, there is also American units as well. They're not on their own, so they don't automatically get captured. However, as I understand it, the Japanese don't take prisoners. Anyway. We don't have to worry about that. We're on to the vehicle aircraft phase. So this is moving our LVTs. I put the activated markers onto the potential contacts here, rather than that's where I got that one wrong from. Right, these are all ready to go. So let's start. Let's start from the top down, I think. So these guys are leaving these 2 cards, so we'll move this back and it will get attacked by that incoming. We are looking, so what modifiers do we have? -1 for the LVT armor, +1 because it's moving, +1 for the terrain, and -1 for the incoming. So we're still on 0 here, so 0 modifier anti-tank attack here. We have a 7. 7 is no effect, so he gets to move back. Wonderful. Right, here we'll do the same thing, and it's exactly the same deal, just no modifier. And we anti-tank of 7 again, which is fine. To be honest, I'd rather get the full ones with the big results on the cards, but never mind, take what we get. Over here, we also have a withdrawal, and there is small arms does have an effect. So if we look at the little marker here, that has a +1. Was it +3? I think. Yeah, +3 marker on that. So it's a +3 attack to the LVT as it leaves. So if we're +3, +4 for the terrain, -1 for the armour of the LVT. So we're still on +3, and then it's a moving target, so it's another +1. We're back at +4. So we add 4 to the AT result here. We have a reshuffle, and we'll draw again. So we've got a 7 going up to 11, so very good. I'm a bit worried now that we have 3 7s in a row on the cards, and that's a very good value to get. But I'll reshuffle and we'll get on with the rest of the vehicles. Right. Okay, so we will then now look at moving these forward, and they will disembark from the LVT. Oops. Being very difficult. And the LVT is moved fired, and the occupants are now exposed. Same thing here. We'll move everybody forward. Didn't quite get everybody there. Move the LVT off. Moved fired. And again exposed. An interesting thing, of course, about these two cards is that at the end of the vehicle phase, they will be attacked by those incomings. But at the combat phase, they will be removed. So these two stacks of units here will not be. So hurrah for that. Because that's a couple of HQs there. Right, over here we will move this forward, and again we will unload. We need exposed markers again, and this one is moved fired. Did I not have a marker on him? There. They're unloaded. Right. How are we doing? So we've still got a couple of movements to do, which is our 2 activated LVT A4s, which will move forward. Marvellous. Right. Okay, so we are just about done on that movement. All we need to do now is for the LVTs in the beach area to be hit by the armaments fire that's coming in. So here and here are both zeros, so we'll do this one first. So it's an anti-tank roll with 0 modifier. We have a 1. A 1 is it's either knocked out or brewed up. Just check on the little chart. Here we go, the anti-armour table. So a 1 is knocked out. It's not brewed up though. So knocked out, we will get, yeah, it's just a wreck. Which provides some cover at least. And we have a fire team which comes out, which is the crew, and it's automatically hit. So we do a hit resolution against that fire team. The fire team, I think, is green, so they will be paralysed. Any of them will be paralysed. So that fire team is removed, and a paralysed team is put underneath the wreck. It is exposed, and also it's just exposed, I believe. It's not pinned. So that's there. Now we move on to here, and we're on zeros again, and we get an AT of 6, so they're fine. 6 is no effect, it's a miss. So they're great. And where else do we have here? So here we have a +3 effect for the small arms fire. +1 is +4. It's not counted as a moving target. So it's, yeah, +3. Oh, you see, it's still a moving target. It moved, isn't it? So +3 +4, so it's a +3. And that becomes a 5. A 5 is pinned. It's pinned means they've shut all the hatches and ducked. So they're pinned. And that's the vehicle round. So now from the vehicle round, we're now into the combat phase. First thing we do is remove these pesky incomings. Thank you very much. Don't want any more of them. And yeah, we don't need that either. We then resolve any PC markers, potential contact markers. So nobody's on here. It's just in this zone. We do have an LVT in each one, so we will resolve each one. There's the B there, which we'll resolve first. So we are still heavily engaged. Heavily engaged on B is 2 cards. So we're looking for not a contact. So we have a blank and we have a rally. So yep, no contact there. So that B is gone. Great. Now we have the 3 C's. So again, randomizer 1, 2, and 3. Which one should we do first? Number 3. So we'll do that first, and with a C in heavily engaged. Oh, I've just thought actually, it's not heavily engaged. We actually now only have 1 VOF marker. So actually it's contact. Yes, sorry. Yeah, we're on contact at the moment because we removed those VOF markers. So in which case that was wrong. We should have picked up how many cards? Let's see, on contact for a B. Contact for B is 5. So we need another 4 cards for that. Glad I spotted that. So another 4 cards. We did 2 cards, didn't we? Yes, we did. So another 3 cards. So let's keep going with it. A blank, a rally, and another blank. Okay, yeah. So as we were, however, with the C's, I know the cards are slightly out of order now, but I'll live with it. With the C on contact, we're looking on here. We're on the 3, aren't we? Yep. So 3 cards. So let's see what they come up with. A blank, cover, and a rally, no contact. Right, that's our potential contact C removed. 1 and 2 here, randomizer. On a 2 we do for number 1, so this one here, and it's 2 cards. Sorry, 3 cards. We have a reshuffle, and we do this card, a rally, this card, a rally, and 1 more card, because it was a reshuffle card, and that's a blank. So again, nothing there. So I have to reshuffle. We've still got this one to resolve. Oh no, we've got 2 to resolve here. Gosh, I'm missing things all the time now, aren't I? Oh no, we did B. We did B. It was a B there. Yeah, just this one to resolve. So I'll just do the reshuffle and we'll do that. Right, as you were. So so the contacts for this one is remaining. That's 3 cards. A rally, a blank, and a cover. Great. So nothing turns up there either. So as far as potential contact markers are left, we have an A here and a C here. And that's all. So it's combat time. So there is no VOF markers on these 2 cards, so the pin markers will be removed. However, there still is a VOF marker here, a small arms on this card, and there's also a grenade attack here. So the combat is simultaneous, we can do it either way. I'll get the assault team fire out of the way first because it's much simpler. There's only 1 unit here. So we have an automatic weapons, which is -1, +1 for the generic terrain, and then +1 for the foxholes. You can see there's a +1 there as well. So we end up with a +1 result. Okay, so looking on the +1 table for the fire. So a +1 is a pin. So we've pinned that unit. So we can provide a pin marker on top of it. And this will help us because the VOF will change to an all pinned, which is a much better, it's a +2 rather than a 0 here. So that's that fire taken care of. Now I think we'll do firstly the squad, which is suffering the grenade attack. So we have a -3 here on the grenade. It's a smaller number for Japanese grenades. There we go, -3. And then we have +1 for the pinned marker, +1 for the generic terrain. So -3 +2 is a -1 on that squad. And on the -1 table we have a hit. Lovely. So anything left of this squad. So it is a line quality squad, and we look online, we get an L and a C. So that's a litter team and a casualty. So I'm afraid this entire squad has disintegrated. We have a litter team here as well, still pinned. We can take the grenade away now. And we have another casualty. We are doing so well on this card. Mind you, it's not too bad. We managed to spot and actually pin the squad inside the spider hole. So right, for everybody else, they get the small arms. So looking at we'll ignore 1 litter team that's already been suffered the combat. So there's this litter team, the paralysed team, and then there is the units under the exposed marker. So the litter team, it's pinned, +1, small arms is 0, terrain is +1, so it's on a +2. So litter team on +2. Litter team on +2 is a miss. Great. The paralysed unit is also on a +2. And +2 is a pin result, so still pinned. Note that does mean that litter team is now unpinned. This one, of course, is because it was pinned from the combat concerning the squad, the grenade hit. Right, just something I just thought of. When a grenade is lobbed from one side to the other, there is an automatic possibility of a grenade being lobbed back. Let me just check on that. Yeah, I was right, but they only get the opportunity if they're unpinned, and that squad was pinned, so it doesn't get the to lob a grenade back. So, as you were, again. Right, so we've completed here this unit. Let's do the assault team. Now they are on just a +1, 0 +1. They weren't pinned at this time, so just on the +1. How the assault team do? So +1 is a miss. Great. So the assault team's fine. Now the incoming units here, which is the gunnery sergeant and another squad. And that's it. Gunnery sergeant and another squad. So the gunnery sergeant, we're on a 0 +1 and -2. So he's on a -1. Fingers crossed for the gunnery sergeant. A -1 is a pin. I'll live with that. That's fine. What we can do is we can move him over to the stack of pinned units. Pinned I can certainly live with. At least he's not a casualty or turned into a fire team or something. So onto the squad, and they're again on a -1. Let's pull that card. Right, and a -1, and that is a hit. So we're hit with a small arms fire, and the result is another reshuffle. But well, that will do the result. The result is for a that is a veteran unit, so that's an F. So that's a fire team only. So that's not a bad result. It's not a great result. It's not a bad result. It's just some dislocation in the cohesion of that squad. We have a fire team, and again, these guys are all pinned as well. To save building a giant stack, we'll just put the pin marker on top of the squad and the fire team there. All right, so could have been worse. We got our gunnery sergeant out, which is brilliant. And we have pinned the enemy, which is great. Right, so that's the end of the combat phase. All we need to do now is clean up, so I'll just do that. Right, that's all cleaned up, I think. Just about. Okay, so we have our retreating LVTs here, but we've got incoming LVT A4 tanks, which is great. A reasonable force here now. So we've got basically 2 squads, squad and a half here. We've got our assault units here, flamethrower and a demo, which is fine. And over here, it's a bit of a melee, but we've lost the originating squad. It's just completely broken down. But we do have an assault team which is pinning the enemy, and we have another squad that's just appeared, and also the gunnery sergeant as well. And along with the gunnery sergeant, we have an XO and we have a first sergeant. So we actually do have HQs on the board now. That's pretty good. So yeah, that's turn 3, getting into turn 4 in the next section. So we're okay, I think. Bit of horrible stuff going on with some of the LVTs, and some nasty fire here, but I think we're through possibly the worst of it for the moment, and we've got some capability for doing some advancing off the beach here with the XO and the first sergeant. So right, just only thing was we didn't really have our machine gun support. However, the LVT A4s here, with their heavy weapons, will be most welcome to help back up and provide that kind of firepower. So we shouldn't really be missing the MGs so much. Anyway, thanks for watching this reconstituted or rerun turn 3, and hopefully I'll see you for turn 4. Thanks for watching.